500, and Russell Ingall moves past John Bowe to make it 4 holes at the front of the field, but he still needs to nail Stephen Richards just ahead of him if he's to take a podium position. The defending champion, of course, with Larry Perkins. Race leader Craig Lowndes is 36.75 seconds out in front. It's been a masterful performance, and it will take a safety car from here on in the remaining 7 laps to give their rivals a chance.
Now, Greg Murphy, we don't want to scare you at all, but if you cast your mind back to this time last year, it was you that was at the wheel of the Kmart Commodore, or the Wins Commodore as it was back then.
Yes, and there was about 4 laps to get, 5 laps to go, and I think it ran out of brakes going into the last corner, so I can guarantee that's not going to happen this time.
The enthralling battle going on nonetheless for 3rd position. Stephen Richards holds it at the moment. The enforcer, Russell Ingall, all over the back of him.
Yeah, well, this is where Steve's got the problem, just losing corner speed. That wasn't too bad. It's the second one that's he's having to back off and look at the corner speed. Russell pulls in there, and then he'll try and fire down the inside of Steve, who'll come across and cover him. Look in the mirror there. Where's he going? Steve and Russell are pretty good friends, and they won't want to hit each other, but who knows?
You see that crooked steering wheel angle quite clearly.
No, you can see how low the left hand is.
Yeah.
And you sort of under brakes, it actually goes worse because the stopping performance of the car is unbelievable, but it's not quite as good as it is when it's straight.
Craig Lowndes still 37, almost 38 seconds in front of Tander and Bargwanna. Oh,
That's a shame.
Paul Wheel out of the car, the NJ Thermal Falcon.
Seen a few dejected faces around Queensland Raceway today. Here's another one.
Oh, they were doing a great job. Those were fantastic. I reckon it was great that Paul let Cricky drive the car yesterday in qualifying and do the top 10. I mean, that really is... He's a young kid and he's learning from Cricky, and they're doing both of them doing a great job. So to stand aside after driving the car all year and let someone else do qualifying, I think it was a great thing to do.
It's the sort of team they run, Keys, Wheel and the boys. They've got that very much a family sort of atmosphere about it, and Keys is not backward about coming forward and saying no. Cricky had the slight edge on Paul, and they gave him the go.
That's right. I think it's great.
Immense experience here. Stephen Richards, dual Bathurst winner, won it last 2 years in a row. Last year in the Wins Commodore with Greg Murphy, who's with us here in the commentary box. The year before with Jason Bright in the Pertec Ford. Russell, a multiple winner on the mountain as well with LP.
They've actually closed the gap, these two, to Garth Tander. It's come down a little bit too, so they're not far behind him. He's travelling around about half a second lap slower at the moment.
There he is. That's a good shot. You can get an idea there of how big the gap is between them. And Garth sweeps into the left-hander, this horseshoe section that we talk about, turn 4 and 5. You get up around 160 k an hour through here and move up through the gearbox from 2nd to 3rd.
The gap now 2.4 seconds. It was last time around. Let's see if they've managed to close the gap on Tander. She's done a 1:12.69. These guys are travelling much faster than that.
Russell
taking about half a second off in there.
If he touches him, I'll go down there and smack him myself.
Come across the start-finish line. Let's check the gap. It's 2.5, so they're maintaining it at the moment. Tander's just got about a 2.5 second buffer over these two. It's a tremendous battle for 3rd place. Gibson Motorsport team just missing out on the podium. Less than 2 laps to go. They had a brake problem. Took them off the podium. Let's hope the same fate doesn't befall you this year, Murph.
Do you guys have to talk about that?
These two have managed to pull clear of John Bowe, though, haven't they?
Yeah, Bowie's obviously had a few problems there, a bit of a tyre problem or something maybe, and he's slipped back, which is good for us.
Yep. Well, it's just incredible. The strength and reliability of the V8 Supercar, a well-prepared one, that they can continue to battle at this level so late in the race, Greg.
This place is extremely hard on brakes. I mean, we'd have to be doing a brake pad change regardless if it was compulsory or not. So they are, I mean, the amount of reliability, obviously, Hot Racing Team had a problem down there before, which is doesn't hardly ever happen. So you can see the toe in there on the car going down the straight is quite considerable.
So they come across the start-finish line. This time there will be 4 laps remaining in the Aussie Mail 500. Stephen Richards sits in 3rd. You can see the enforcer there, up to around 230 kilometres an hour they get at the end of the straight there. The enforcer in 4th, Stephen Richards in 3rd. Here is Craig Lowndes.
Just checking our point situation at the moment. If they finish the way they are, Scaife will be on 1,296 points. Tander will be on 1107. So the championship's still alive going into Sandown. But the HRT looking pretty commanding at the moment.
Gee, Tander is getting a little sideways on the exit of turn 3 there. As we count down towards the finish, he'd be hearing absolutely everything in that car, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, you know, this is the position they were in last year as well, and Garth's doing a great job. I'm sure he's too professional now to be worried about those little things, but, you know, you're really wanting the end of the race to come now. You're probably over it by this stage. Last few laps don't seem to come fast enough. That piece of paper's still stuck in there, but it's obviously not causing them any problems. The water temper of the car is still pretty much the same. So Stephen Russell go past another car, complete another lap with only a few to go. I'm getting a bit anxious here, boys.
Well, we might let you go, in fact, because you're on course for a podium position at the moment, so you might have to duck downstairs very shortly.
Yeah.
So, Greg Murphy, thanks for joining us, mate.
Guys.
And best of luck. Hope you're on the podium at the end there, mate. Cheers.
Given a great race, Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards still hard at it in the Aussie Mail 500. Let's have a look at this Shell Helix replay. Super Cheap Autos car loops it at turn 3. But I think he managed to stay out of trouble. Time running out, 36.3 seconds the gap between first and second. His car 35, the Tim Lay Greg Ritter car. It's further down the order.
Position 9 at the moment in car 35. These two youngsters, Ritter, last year's Formula Ford champion, and Tim Lay, who's spent the bulk of the season in Formula Holden, has had a bit of an up and down year, but did very well in the Winton round of the championship. Ironically, his dad runs a Ford dealership in Orange, and Tim's at the wheel of a Holden. Apparently the Ford boys in Orange have been giving him a wind-up about that.
I bet they have.
He's loving his time, though, with the Valvoline Cummins team.
Down the back straight, time running out for our race leader, Craig Lowndes. He's only got a couple more to go. Simon Wills at the wheel of the Pertec Falcon. I'm not sure if they got their driver strategy wrong there, the Stone Brothers team, but they came in for a driver change very late in the race.
Simon is back at the wheel of the Ford there. So it was costly. The reigning, newly crowned Formula Holden champion, backing up last year's victory. Youngster from New Zealand who is hopeful of stepping up to V8 Supercar racing next season. And what about this for a story? The Challenge recruitment team, Terry Wyhern and Matthew White. Looks like Wyhern's still at the wheel of that car in 11th position. Yep. Started out of grid position 20.
That's the car that, it gets very sideways coming through the midsection. Maybe the tyre's getting a bit second-hand by now. This is the car that Matthew used to good effect in the Konica V8 Light Series this year to finish second. It's the ex-Larry Perkins Russell Ingall car. Bathurst winner, in fact, from 1997. Still doing the goods a few years down the track. 2 laps remaining for our race leader, Craig Lowndes.
Dave Bernard sits in 8th position in the Caltex Haviland Ford. Despite that, Mark, it's been quite a good debut for him in the Shell Championship Series. Stunning in terms of his pace in qualifying and practice. High pressure situation. I don't think they got the strategy quite right today. Well, no one got the strategy as good as these guys. They just blitzed him. Fantastic calling Lowndes in as soon as that safety car came out. Got him, left him in the car. There was no driver change to do. Despite all the hullabaloo about this man, his relationship with the Holden Racing team and where he's going in 2001, he's certainly done the business for them today. 26-year-old who grew up in Melbourne, these days resides in Brisbane, splits his time between here and testing duties with the Holden Racing team. He is on his way home, Craig Lowndes, and on course to take out the Aussie Mail 500. Last season he finished in 3rd position with Cameron McConville. And now he and Scaife are partnered together for this race, and they are set to take it out. He's even waving to the crowd there down the back straight. What a fantastic career this guy has had. Started out in kart racing at 9 years of age. He's campaigned successfully in Formula Ford, had a brief stint in Formula 3000 overseas, has won 3 Shell Championship Series for this team. And of course, teamed up with Greg Murphy to win Bathurst in 1996. And now another endurance trophy awaits Craig Lowndes.
The critical thing is this keeps Mark Scaife at the head of the Shell Championship Series battle. As we've got 2 rounds remaining to go to Sandown. Another sprint round before we go to Bathurst. This battle between Valvoline Cummins and Holden Racing team looks like it's going right down to the wire.
We talked about it at the top of the show. The engineering might and the organisational nous of the Holden Racing team, coupled with 2 of the best drivers in the business, Mark Scaife and Craig Lowndes. They win the Aussie Mail 500 in Queensland. Well done, and well done to the Holden Racing team. There's Mark Scaife. helping his bid in terms of winning the 2000 Shell Championship Series. Fantastic performance, Jeff Gregg.
Not allowed to do burnouts either, mate. They set up the screw at those drivers' races.
Just getting a warning there not to do any post-race burnouts for the fans. But a marvellous performance. Here's Garth Tander. He's hanging on to second position. Stephen Richards there in third. And the Enforcer are battling all the way to the finish line. A marvellous performance for the minor placings on the podium. Tander and Bargwanna, 2 years in a row. They have finished in second position. Stephen Richards finishes in third with Greg Murphy. And after the horrors of last year for the Wins Racing team, the Kmart Commodore is on the podium. Gee, they have an exceptional record when it comes to endurance races, that team. An outstanding result. And Radicic got Seaton there on the line, just on the line. So Radicic moving through to 5th position. What a story that's been as well. Dropping back to 31st after that stop-go penalty and recovering for 6th position. Sensational effort. There's the Rad from New Zealand. A fantastic fight back. But the man of the moment is Craig Lowndes. He has taken out the Aussie Male 500 along with co-driver Mark Scaife. There he is, a 26-year-old, teaming up with a 33-year-old. And that's a much-needed endurance race win for Mark Scaife as well. Keep in mind, he won the Adelaide 500 this year, but prior to that, it had been a long time between drinks for Scaife. And so too for Lowndes in terms of endurance race wins. The Aussie Male 500 is theirs in 2000. Let's go to Baz.
Way to go, Scaife. Just unbelievable, Baz. I mean, today was one of those real team strategy races, and we were being held up by the Valvoline car, and as it turned out, we were going to bring Craig in at that time. He hadn't done enough laps, and we come in and got a safety car. I mean, that's how it is, but the car was fantastic, unbelievably good.
Yeah, winning all these races can't just be luck, can it?
Well, it can't just be luck, but I mean, the car consistently, I mean, Craig did an 11.6 on the second last lap, so it's a pretty good toy.
Yeah. So you look quite happy?
Well, I am quite happy. I mean, it's obviously fantastic for the championship, but just unbelievably good. I better go and find my mate.
Right. Go on, well done.
Yep, that tells a story, doesn't it? Mark Scaife delighted, and there is Lowndes greeting the crowd. He throws his arms around the team. There's Scaife. A wonderful, wonderful result for the Holden Racing team. And it really has been a team effort when you consider the tactics in this race and how they approached it. There's Craig's wife, Natalie, coming to congratulate him as well. He throws his arm around her. That's terrific. Winners in the Aussie Male 500 in 2000, Craig Lowndes and Mark Scaife.
Congratulations.
And the crowd are just loving this here at Queensland Raceway. If you've just joined us in second, it was Garth Tander and Jason Bargwanna. They have done that 2 years in a row now. They wanted to go one better today, and Tander does look a little down, but that's a fantastic result and still helping him in terms of his bid for the 2000 Shell Championship. It's not over it yet by any stretch of the imagination. It is still wide open. They're the two protagonists for the title, and they finished 1 and 2 today. Let's check them out for you, and we'll recap all of them. In the Aussie Male 500, Lowndes and Scaife, your winner, or winners. Tander and Bargwanna in second. Richards and Murphy will get on the podium as well in the Kmart Commodore. Last year's winners, Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall, 4th. Bowen Richards, 5th. Radicic and McLean, what a marvellous fight back for 6th. Seaton and Crompton, 7th. And Tony Longhurst and Dave Bernard, well, it wasn't their day, but they finished in 8th position. Ritter and Lay bring the second of the Valvoline Cummins Commodores home in 9th position. Baird and Wills in 10th. We go further back through the field. Ellery and Stokel, a good effort, 13th. Forbes and Cleland, 14th. Nash and McConville in 16th position, 4 laps down from our winners. Dillman and Cotter on return in the Team Gatorade Commodore finish in 17th position. Romano and Jamie Brock, despite their offs today, took 21st position in the Aussie Male 500. Kelly and Pretty Well, we saw what happened to them. Some engine dramas, very unexpected and a disappointment for them. We go right back through the field. Tyler Mecklem and Mick Donoher, the last of those on the road, but there are the retirements in this one. Gee, it was a big one for retirements. The Johnsons, Larkham and Brabham, and early in the piece, Morris and Schwantz. We will come back to wrap it all up on the other side of this, the podium presentations and all the celebrations in just a few moments.
command performance there from the Mobile Holden Racing team, and as a result, a commanding lead to the man on the left of your screen, Mark Scaife, in the Shell Championship Series. Great job from Craig Lowndes. They are an item now until the end of the championship, barring the Sandown Sprint, which is still to come, but nevertheless, double points on offer in Bathurst. They will team again for that. Recapping the results here, and some tremendous efforts. A couple of major dramas too for a few teams that maybe had the speed but didn't have the tactics to knock off Mobile Holden Racing today. But exceptional performance from Matthew White and Terry Waihoon 11th, and of course Greg Gritter and Tim Lay there 9th. That was terrific stuff. Mark Ostler is on the podium with our lucky winners, although they've fought very, very hard, along with that slice of luck they need to win a big one like this.
Yes. Yes, the Aussie Male 500 really turned it on. Lots of action on the track and in the pits, and ultimately superior strategy and speed proving the winner on the day. Right now, I'd like to introduce the Managing Director of Aussie Male, Justin Milne, to make the presentations to our winners. In third place today, well, the tactics didn't quite work out for them, and that's slightly bent steering too, but a good effort too. They're on the podium. Put your hands together for Stephen Richards and Greg Murphy. Outstanding performance, Steve, but we saw you on the in-car camera there struggling with that steering. She had a bit of an angle on there.
Yeah, she had a bit of play, had a lot of toe in after a bit of contact in my first stint. So, to be honest, the Kmart Racing team, we're very happy to be up here. Greg drove a fantastic middle stint with the steering and managed to hold out Russell right at the end there.
It was a hard work out there. Boy, it must have been hot inside those cars.
It was unbelievably hot, actually. It's probably as hot as I've had, including Adelaide. So it was tough out there, but all thanks to Kmart and Holden and Castrol.
Nice to be back on the podium, Murph. I know you were heading for the podium last time until those brakes let you down 2 laps a moment. It's nice to be up here this time.
Yeah, it's great. Steve did 2 fantastic stints. The guys again in the pit lane, awesome pit stops, and you know, we're on the podium, which counts for the most. So we're pretty happy.
And once again, the Ford Challenge faded here. We've got 3 Holden teams up on the podium. Maybe strategy, what didn't work out today?
No, I mean, I think there's a few that had to do an extra stop. Us guys here, we all did 2 stops and then drove them to the limit, and you know, we're here. So I think deserved to everybody a great job to the guys who won. Craig and Mark, and then Garth and Bargs did a great job.
Put your hands together, folks. Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards, 3rd place in the Kmart Racing Commodore. And I'm sure they're going to be a force to be reckoned with when we get to Mount Panorama in November. In 2nd place today, well, they were 2nd last year, and the pit strategy and the pace car didn't quite work in their favour today, but they're still here. A great effort from Jason Bargwanna and Garth Tander. Come over here, boys. Geez, Bargs, you were working away there. Looked like you're having a ton of fun. The car was obviously fast, but ultimately pit strategy, and boy, having to pit under that without the safety car there, that cost you a lot of time.
Yeah, no, we certainly learnt something today about pit strategy. I mean, we certainly had the car to do the job. A bit disappointing in the end to get in the 2nd place trophy again, but look, the guys did a great job. The stops were fantastic. The car is just superb, and yeah, I can't wait for Bathurst.
Yeah, it should be a good race. You guys very evenly matched in terms of your lap times.
Yeah, I think all weekend there's like a 1/10 of a second between us, so that's what it takes to win these races, and hopefully Bathurst we can do it.
Got to cheer up, mate. You look a bit down there. Garth come through. The little fella's done an outstanding job for you. Got in 2nd place, and that's kept the championship battle alive coming into Sandown, so that can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, obviously it would have been nice to win, and that's what we came here to do, but 2nd's not too bad. I've still got a bag load of points. Scaife, I think we're just talking about it, he got 16 points, so it's not all bad. The guys, like Barg said, did a great job. The stops were lightning fast, no problems. They did a great job setting up the car. It was really, really good considering we were off the pace here at the sprint round. They really turned around and gave us a great car. So thanks to Valvoline, Cummins, Holden and Repco. And like Barg said, we can't wait for Bathurst.
But you blokes would have been pacing up and down pit lane waiting for a safety car in that final stint, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it would have been nice, that's for sure, but I don't know. I don't know about the lap time, so Craig was too far ahead, so I don't know how if we're gaining or we're losing. So, but a safety car would have been nice, would have made it interesting, that's for sure. Garth
Tander and Jason Bargwanna, ladies and gentlemen, outstanding performance, and this championship's still very much alive. Right now, I'd like to call on the winners, and it's been an absolutely amazing drive. Very good call on tactics, great race speed all day. Mark Scaife and Craig Lowndes. Come over here, Scaife.
Yes, mate.
Well, what a day. We spoke earlier in the morning. He said there's probably 5 or 6 teams out there that can give us a run for our money, but you just blitzed them.
Well, I mean, really, to the guys, I mean, this weekend the car, we concentrated really hard on trying to make the car a good race car, and I think you could see there, Lance did 11.6 on the second last lap, so it's a pretty good gadget.
That's a great race package. And tell me, when you ran the second car out to 69, 70 laps, that's a remarkable fuel economy as well.
Well, look, obviously the fuel economy is something that we've been working on, and we've worked on it all year. And you know, for Bathurst, that's the sort of thing that obviously wins races there. So you know, we're obviously very excited about it, because it's in terms of the championship, it couldn't have been better for us.
No, I won't say you can taste the champagne yet. You don't want to put the mockers on you. But we've got 2 rounds remaining in the championship. This is a thriller. Sandown is absolutely going to be critical, isn't it? Yeah,
we'll probably be a bit of a desperate man there, I reckon. But no, we'll be into it and see what happens. I mean, Sandown's a place our cars have always gone really well at, Mark. So. Hopefully we can you know, go there and hopefully get a reasonable result.
Okay, well done. We'll get your co-driver in here, Craig. You did a mega stint there toward the end. Obviously plenty of support from the Queenslanders, but a great drive. The team did an outstanding job.
Well, they did. I think after Friday, the car was, both Mark and I are very happy with the consistency of the car, the speed of the car, and really, although it may not have had the speed for qualifying, but it definitely had it for the race. The guys changed the strategy as the race went on. We did call a good stop, so thanks to the guys, Mobile, Holden and Bridgestone really did a great job. And my wife, Nat, for supporting me. It's obviously fantastic. It's a great feeling to come back here from last year, where we sort of struggled with pace, to have a really dominating car. And it was just fantastic. It was a team effort, and we did it on the day.
I think you two are going to be an awesome combination come November at the Mount Panorama.
Well, we hope so. Obviously, we're looking forward to that. The team and myself and Mark are very keen, obviously, to try and clinch the title before we go there, and really be great for us as a team to go there and really get our heads together and try and win it. Obviously, last year we went there just to finish 4th or higher, and you know, if we can get that out of the way, we'd love to go there as a dominant combination. We've got 3 cars there. It's going to be a bit of hard work on the guys, but I'm sure they can do it.
Holden Racing Team on top. Put your hands together, folks. The Queensland Aussie Male 500 winners, Craig Lowndes and Mark Skaife.
Well, as strong as they are and as quick as they are, you have to hand it to this team for maintaining not only their tactical structure, but their composure in the face of all the rumours that have surrounded this team in the last few weeks and where Craig Lowndes will go next year. Certainly it would be a little ironic, perhaps, if the last thing Lowndes does with this team is help Mark Skaife win the championship. However, it will be a typically professional performance of Craig if he manages to achieve that. The celebration's well earned, and Barry Sheen, it is somewhat ironic, I guess, with all the speculation that surrounded Craig, that he's going to help Skaife win this championship, perhaps.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about that. You know, the whole point about it is they can say what they like about HRT. It can't just be lucky that they keep winning these races. Do you understand? You know, they're a really professional effort. You know, you take Jeff Grech, you know, he's rushing backwards and forwards. He's on the ball the whole time with both cars and that. And, you know, that's the way you win races. You know, it's a sad thing, you know, people make mistakes, etc., but they are just consistently brilliant.
Well, one of the other guys on that podium there who's driven for the team, Greg Murphy, said a little earlier in this program, it is not luck. It is management and strategy and a great team effort. We'll be back with more after this. You fight all weekend not only to set the car up, to find tenths of seconds, even hundredths to gain grid position. And of course, in pit lane, you can lose the bulk of that in one poor stop. And that is, to an extent, the story of the Queensland Aussie Male 500 and, in fact, the Shell Championship. As we look at the points now, Skaife by 189 from Tander. Bearing in mind, there are another 120 points maximum available at Sandown and 240 at Bathurst for the FAI 1000. So it is still open, Barry Sheen. However, Noble Holden Racing Team are in good shape.
Well, it does look pretty good for them, but you never know what's going to happen. And this thing is so competitive now, you know, that they can go to Sandown, blow the thing up, and then all of a sudden lose 200 points, and it's back, you know, Tander's back into the shot again. You know, it's but whatever you say, I mean, the racing in this series now is quite incredible. It's so hard, and it really is the best series in the world. Maintenance is such an important thing in this race, and we have 2 guys now who I'm sure have a few stories to tell, not just from the cockpit as well. Firstly, Paul Radicic, a marvellous drive. The start of your race was absolutely incredible. After a stop-go penalty that was he's copping a bit of stick now, I might tell you, off camera from the podium position.
gentlemen who are just being parading past on a track. You might be able to hear them in the background.
They're all saying smile, smile.
Anyway, where were we, Paul? Stop-go penalty for a start. I don't think you were too keen on that.
Well, I think we were pretty hard done by that. I believe I didn't move, but hey, that's the rules, and you've got to abide by the decision, and I paid the penalty for it. But great comeback, and to get up to second at the stop, and you know, for us, the last stop didn't quite pay off.
Were you happy tactically with the race? I mean, Dick was up there with us for a while discussing it. I know a few of the other teams seem to make big blues.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, we were happy. We were just hoping that we would get a yellow towards the end. It didn't come. It's as simple as that. And you know, other than that, the race went. Other than the jump start, the race was fine. Car went well, and very pleased.
Totally different complexion on the series now for you when you go to Sandown for the sprints.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, just try and win some more races if I can, and you know, the fours are working a lot better, and we're a little closer to the Holdens, and let's hope we can win a couple more.
But after being so quick and having that drama happen to you at Bathurst last year, you must feel pretty confident now going into that race again. You can maybe do it this time.
Well, drama seems to follow me around, so who knows? But hey, something owes me a big one, and let's hope it's Bathurst.
Well, best of luck, mate. Well done. Russell Ingles with Barry Sheen. Stay with us, Paul.
Now, Russell, you're getting wound up by the boys here. What are they saying to you?
Yeah, they're having a bit of a go at me. I'm a bad loser, mate.
No, they're saying, well, so they're all going, smile, Russell.
Nah, look, I give myself a bit of a butt kick, actually. Yeah, well, I mean, it was a good race for us. We had a little bit of a long pit stop, put us back a bit, but look, I should have got past Richards a bit earlier. We had enough pace on board, I think, to give Tander a good run, and I was jetting around, and I should have nailed Richards earlier. So
why didn't you then?
Yeah, mate, I don't know. I got bad memories from this track.
It cost you a few bob last time, didn't it?
You're not kidding. I felt some eyes watching me too. They always do when it gets in that situation. So, mate, if I copped another fine, my wife wouldn't like not going for a holiday this year.
What about Sandown?
No, look, we should go right at Sandown. It should be pretty good. So, look, we're now along there. We're back to my old car there. And then we obviously got the big one at Bathurst, but that's the one we're gearing up for. We only need a little bit more. The car's really good, so if we can find a bit more speed, we'll be there.
Well, you're saving all up for Bathurst, obviously. You're just keeping it up your sleeve.
Yeah, the boys, Scafie, and they're all having a bit of a laugh now, but, mate, wait until Bathurst. We might swipe that smile right off his face.
OK, thanks, guys.
I hate to open the old can of worms here, but we should get a comment from both drivers on this, Paul. The parity situation, it's kind of gone under the blankets in the last few weeks as other things have surfaced, and we're looking forward to the big races. But how do you feel it is now over the longer distances?
Well, the undertray has helped balance the car out. It is no quicker, but it has helped us balance the car, which will have us at other tracks. So I still believe there's a little bit of a deficit by about a tenth or two, but you know, maybe we can even that up as the year goes on. So when next year comes, it's a completely even playing field.
And of course, you're just going to say that it's the best driver in the Holden, of course.
Oh, absolutely, but I don't know about a deficit of a tenth or two, because I was sitting behind Longhurst, and when he went by me, I thought, well, I know who's got the fastest car at the moment. So
this is typical racer stuff.
The argument continues.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Thanks, Russell Ingle. Thank you, Paul Radisich. Well done. Best of luck at Sandown and Bathurst for both of your drivers. Barry, yeah, a remarkable weekend, really.
Oh, really hard. It just shows you, you know, that getting the strategy right, you know, when you should have seen Gary Rogers' face when he had to bring the car in, you know, under a sort of a no safety zone thing. It's one of those things. But you cannot knock HRT. You know, they can't get it right every time just by luck.
So much speed and so much hard work can come undone. You must think the races as well. Let's have a look at what's ahead on your home of motorsport. There is plenty. And the Kart World Series continues, the 16th round of 20, Laguna Seca, California, reminding you that the penultimate round is the Honda Indy 300 right here in Australia. Massive telecast, and it'll be very exciting. 6 drivers within 10 points. Sandown, as I mentioned, is the next round in the Shell Championship Series. It's the 3 sprints again, so a complete rethink for all the teams. And then, of course, the big one from Mount Panorama, and that could well be a showdown that decides the Shell Championship Series. It's been tough for all the teams here this weekend. As I said, Barry, the times have been so close. They've worked so hard to find those tenths of a second, lost it all in a number of pit stops, and of course the weather's been very tough on them as well, as pleasant as it is for us.
Yeah, it's been hot. There's no doubt. Wait till Sandown then.
Well, we look forward to that and so much more for you on your home of motorsport. Hope you've enjoyed it this time, and we'll catch you next time on Network 10. Bye for now.
Fourth is gone.
That could be the...
Owen Falker.
Sitting off in the sand trap. There they go.
Oh, that's the way to get it.
That's the way to get it off.
Tony Longhurst shaking off Russell Eagle and taking the race lead from Garth Tander.
Oh, no, he's out.
Oh, there's fuel dripping out everybody. The fuel attendant can't stop it.
Mike one, have a look up the inside. Bernard gets him racing room.
Oh, look at that.
Romano, Brock. Excellent. Jamie Brock at the wheel.
Well, gets a little failure on the exit of turn 3 and loops it around. Mark Scape and Craig Lowndes, they win the Aussie Mail 500 in Queensland. Well done, and well done to the Holden Racing team. There's Mark Scape.